Linescapes is my fourth book, and it is a direct follow-on from the previous work I've done. The first book I wrote, A Prickly Affair, was about the natural history of hedgehogs. And what became very apparent, over the last 30 years of study of hedgehogs, certainly, is that one of the principal problems that hedgehogs face is the fragmentation of their landscape. It's very easy to get sidetracked by a focus on the loss of habitat and the loss of species. But what I'm interested in particular is this loss of abundance of wildlife, but also the fragmentation of remaining areas of landscape. So with Linescapes, what I've done is to shift my perspective on the landscape, to begin to look at the lines that we have created in the land. Linescapes begins with a paradox. It begins with the idea that the very first lines that we built into the landscape, the hedges and ditches and dikes and dry stone walls, were all specifically there to fragment the landscape, to assert ownership and to restrain livestock. Yet inadvertently, these lines have become the agents of connection for wildlife. They've become the way that wildlife can find its way through our now very industrialized landscape. The next wave of lines that we introduced were specifically for communication, and they were the canals and the railways and the roads, all specifically designed to allow us to communicate better. Yet inadvertently, they have become the agents of fragmentation for so much wildlife. One of the crucial aspects of this is that we need connection with nature too. And we are only going to get connection with nature if there is any nature around. Fragmentation will be reversed if we can reconnect the landscape. But we also need that connection ourselves because we're physically and psychologically fitter if we have time spent in nature. And we can't do that without access to nature, and we can't do that unless nature is around. So we need these lines for wildlife itself, we need lines for ourselves. We need to reimagine the landscape, look at the linear features, see how they can be used for connection rather than fragmentation.
Your motor beep beep eow, beep beep eow eow, beep beep eow, beep beep eow.